I want to hear your guys' stories, but I'll share one of mine. What was the most embarrassing thing that your narcissistic ex did when they took you to court or while in court? I'm going to share, I'll share one, my favorite. So, after I was approved for my 5 year domestic violence restraining order against my narcissistic abusive ex, Eugene, my judge made it very clear that she did not want to see his name in the court again. She said, do not waste our time trying to get a restraining order against me. And did he listen? No, of course not. So he took me to court for a restraining order after mine was approved. Yeah, we see where this is going. Did I mention he's an alcoholic and a drug user? Yeah, I think that should have been obvious. But, side note. So we go to court. His judge is looking at this massive case file. Yeah. And was like, what the hell is all of this? He sent in pictures of documents for court that I had sent him saying that I was harassing him. Okay, I did send a card that said congratulations because supposedly he got married to one of the 5 chicks. Whatever. A little petty, yes. Was it like necessary? No. Did I do it? Yes. But in that document with that card was the restraining order, a copy of the restraining order. So when the judge asks him, hey, what would you like to have happen today? He says that he wants a restraining order because I'm harassing him. Mind you, again, the reason I sent the initial letter was to give him a copy of the restraining order that he needed to have. I was obligated to send it to him. And he takes a picture of it with the card. The card is next to the restraining order. We're just going to clarify that again. He took a photo to turn into the judge as proof of harassment of the restraining order against him and a card that I had sent saying congratulations on getting married. Whatever. The judge, says, okay, you want a restraining order. And he goes, what do you have to say about it? And I said, this is clearly retaliation for the 5-year domestic violence restraining order I just got on him. And I was about to continue and the judge goes, I'm sorry, wait, let me hear that again. Did you just say that you have a 5-year restraining order against him? And I said, yes. Yes, I do, Your Honor. This is clearly retaliation. And he looks at Eugene and says, is that true? And he goes, no, I don't think so, Your Honor. So when you go to court, you have to send the evidence you turn into the judge to both parties. The judge gets one, you keep one, and then you send one to the other party so that if they want to, fight it, they have the proof that you turned that in, whatever. And so he says, I never received anything. I got a temporary 3-year one. And I said, 3-year ones aren't temporary. Okay. And I just sat there letting him make a fool of his fucking self because he always does a really good job of that, doesn't need help from anybody. And the judge goes, so I'm sorry, you're saying that you think you had a 3-year temporary restraining order? He goes, what court was that filed in? He goes, oh, this one. And I said, no, Your Honor, it was filed in this court. And I gave him the name. I said, on this day with this judge. And he's like, well, I never got a copy of that. And I said, Your Honor, the evidence that he turned in as proof of my harassment, I said, that is a photo of the restraining order that he clearly did indeed receive. It's right there in the photo that he took and turned in to you. Right there. The judge was like, yeah. And holds it up and says, this is the restraining order, sir, that you just said you didn't think you received. It's right here in the photo that you took and timestamped. So I know you received it after the court date. And then he goes on to say, well, she's been harassing me since the restraining order was put in place and she's not abiding by the restraining order. And the judge palms face and says, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to explain something to you. He says, you're saying that she's harassing you since the restraining order against you was put in place that you just said you didn't even know about. Okay, we're going to push all that aside. He goes, I'm going to explain something to you. And then has to explain how a restraining order works to him. That I am not the one that is restrained from communication. Mind you, we have 2 children together, sadly, but true. That he is in fact the one that is restrained from speaking to me, to us. A restraining order is one way. One person, one party is restrained, not both. And so I just sat there and watched the judge explain to this special adult child how a restraining order works. And then the judge looks at me and says, "I hope you have a good day, ma'am. This is dismissed." And I said, "So I can guarantee this won't happen again?" He goes, "Absolutely not in my court. And I can guarantee you I will let the other judges know that if this name comes up again, to let me know. And it will be dismissed immediately." And I said, "Thank you so much, Your Honor. Have a great day." So I want to hear your stories. How did your narcissistic or abusive exes embarrass the hell out of themselves in court? Come on, share your stories. This could be fun.